The big thing is the rabbi. We're trying to find a rabbi who's well-versed in Ashkenazi, Sephardi, queer, Orthodox adjacent services. Easy. What we're trying to do is so absurd. I always felt like my partner would help me blend like the queer Orthodox worlds, but I never thought about the Ashkenazi Sephardi worlds as well. And I feel so lucky and so like grateful that he's giving me this extra bridge to cross to form across people. But it's really hard.
Listeners, if you can think of a rabbi who could fit this bill, like there are so many these days, like frummy queer weddings that are happening.
Yeah, they can be Ashkenazi, but they can't be Ashkenormative.
Yes.
You know, they need to be like versed in Sephardi things. And that's something Jay says all the time too, is like all Sephardis know Ashkenazi stuff, but no Ashkenazi people know Sephardi stuff.
That's a really good point.
He's 100% right. And you know what? We could also not cold open this one.
Okay, great.
Because I don't have anything to cold open with.
I have nothing to schmooze.
Okay, welcome to Yenta.
Welcome to Yenta.
We're back on the couch.
It's big.
It's been so long.
I've missed you, and I've missed
you
this
so much.
So much. We've been apart for like a full month.
It's crazy.
And a half.
More, yeah.
Maybe 2.
Like since we've shot on this couch, it's been over a month.
Probably like 40 years in the desert.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
For Passover. We wandered for so long. We're about to receive the Torah for Shavuot.
We will be teaching at every Jewish venue in town.
It's true.
It's true. Every Jewish venue in Los Angeles has been trying to get us to virtual has been trying to get us to do their Shavuot learning experience. So
unpaid. And we love you for or you know, and it's really nice, and thank you so much for reaching out to us, and it means a lot.
Yep. But you should catch us at, I'll be doing Beth Shir Shalom in Santa Monica for Shavuot.
Let's plug our Shavuot gigs.
I know. And have you decided on any? Oh, we'll be doing Judaism Unbound.
Yeah.
That's virtual before Shavuot. Have you decided on any that we should announce? Or
No. That's all we're gonna plug.
We're still in talks, but you know what we should plug is our show on June 29th. At Ikar.
It's gonna be huge.
Okay, we're doing Yenta Live, the matchmaking experience.
Insane.
We're having participants, we're having audience members pitch their friends, their single friends, and say, here's why you should date my single friend. All while we're up there serving face.
Yes, and judging
whether
or not they're good enough for you and for people. But everyone is good enough, and everyone should apply, and we love everyone.
We're ruthless.
Yes.
Yenta Live.
Which is also a extension of our Yenta matchmaking series on Patreon, patreon.com/Yenta, where we've already matched a few people, and it's really exciting, and we're still waiting to see where those end up, and I'm sure they will all get married.
They're all going to get married. We've been getting some text updates, but we won't spoil it for you. If you want the updates, go on the Patreon, patreon.com/Yenta.
Yeah.
And if this is your first time here at Yenta, welcome to Yenta.
We love you.
You want to give our tagline?
Yenta, the show that's sometimes about comedy, sometimes about Judaism, and always about gossip. I forgot to do it today.
I thought I'd throw it in there.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay,
get to Yenta.
Let's get to Yenta.
I actually want to start with a Yenta.
Yeah, you said you had a Yenta.
I have a Yenta. Okay, I have a friend who I have known in seminary, from seminary when I was like 18, and we were actually pretty good friends. And she messaged me on Instagram. Like, I haven't spoken to her in 12 years. And I want to read this message.
Oh my God.
But I get this DM from a girl. I have to show you the picture.
Can we share or should we obscure?
I'll put it on the Patreon.
No, we're not going to share the photo.
Oh, what
no,
do
I
you
mean, like, can we tell them
describe it?
Can we describe the photo?
Yes. Just like think about the most shtetl looking religious person possible with 3 children, and a husband with an IDF uniform.
Yeah, their husband in an IDF uniform. The biggest tichel. She's hot.
She's so
And-
hot. Would bang.
And I'm pro tichel.
yeah.
I don't know where this is going because what I have just seen is a picture of a good Orthodox family.
Okay, but then what she said is, hey, I heard on your pod that you got engaged and I wanted to say Mazel Tov. Also, I just love your vibes and definitely reminisce about chilling in the good old days. All the best. We used to learn Torah together in seminary, and we would just we would go hard on our Torah.
Oh, hell
We
yeah.
would fight hard.
Hell
like,
yeah.
In like a steiging way, like in like
What does steiging mean?
Steig is like fighting. Not fighting, like learn, like discussing Torah in like a deep way, like get really invested and really into it, you know?
Yes, like I understand why our culture has a word for fighting over
The
Torah.
yeah. Let me see if I can find the definition.
So she sent you this message, and that's the entire message?
No, yeah. That's the whole message. And I said, hey, oh my gosh, LOL, no way, you listen to the pod. Thank you so much. She said, I've happened upon it a few times. Definitely out there for me. Girl, I get you. It's so out there.
It's out there.
But love learning about what different people go through and how people are just so different and in different worlds. Also, longtime fan of Leah Forrester. And of course, even longer longtime fan of you. That's how everybody from like finds us through Leah Forrester, which we love you and thank you so much for being here. And if you are listening, I love you and thank you for your nice message.
Yeah, even though we're out there.
Yeah, we're
like,
so different and so out there.
Thanks for going past your comfort zone with us.
Yeah.
Welcome. Wait, so how
all the Yenta.
How
really.
does that land with you?
I actually, okay, that's a good question because I had someone else from seminary days DM me within the past year. And I think I might have also brought this up on Yenta, but I was too scared to answer. Like I just didn't reply.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
I don't know. I don't remember.
She's also really from with 3 kids now.
Perfect.
And she messaged me and I was just like, this is too much to respond.
And from her, was it just the same sort of I'm a fan?
I like say she was
seeing what you're doing.
Yeah, it was kind of just it's nice to see you doing well. It was very nice. There was
So nice.
nothing wrong with it at all. I guess the part of me that's oh, they're just being judgy, shit. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you think this is? Is this a fishing expedition you think from someone who's judging you?
Listen, I honestly have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that culture is so judge culture. It's shame culture. It would be really surprising if there wasn't some of that.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that are not like that. I don't know. I'm just processing this live.
Okay. And do you think, knowing people in this world, that if they were judging you, that they would go to the step of messaging you? Because that feels
extra.
Right. Or do you think that they could have heard people judge, the person who's been judging you the hardest, are they going to be messaging you?
I have no idea.
I wonder.
Maybe, probably, I hope not, but I could see people doing it to, get info.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't think she is actually.
A little, a fishing expedition.
Yeah, fishing, exactly what you said. But she's a very nice, I remember her as being very nice.
I mean, not having the inside info into the community.
It seems nice.
Reading at face level, it seems really nice.
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping is behind it is that she's discovering her own latent queerness.
Yes.
Maybe she has some curiosity about bisexuality.
Oh my God, I have
and
another
she
Yenta.
Loves seeing you
Yes.
be the world's most famous bisexual.
And it's making her feel tingly in areas that she was surprised by.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And also, if you're listening to this, even if you're not feeling tingly, if you're feeling tingly in your curiosity brain,
Right.
that's also amazing. And
also, I'm really sorry.
and I love the idea of a woman who seems to be living a pretty frum lifestyle being like, I love my friend who's a non-binary comedian who does queer
but she's
Jewish
like, what is non-binary? That's not real. But yeah. I love that idea too, and I'm sure that is what it is.
You could ask her.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
I'd rather just leave it, and if she is listening to this, she can DM me, and we'll find out. Stay tuned.
Wait, what was the other Yenta that
The other Yenta I'm gonna say for another episode, but it has to do with someone from my Orthodox past who I did have something happened with that I ran into randomly recently.
Ooh.
Really good. Okay. Stay tuned. If you care about that stuff. Literally, I don't even know.
Okay, next topic is wedding planning.
Do you want to pick a topic?
No, let's do your wedding planning.
So, the big thing is the rabbi. We're trying to find a rabbi who's well versed in Ashkenazi, Sephardi, queer, Orthodox adjacent services.
Easy.
I was like talking to Jay about this because I was kind of just like, what we're trying to do is so absurd, and like I always knew, or I always felt like my partner would help me blend like the queer Orthodox worlds, but I never thought about the Ashkenazi Sephardi worlds as well. And I feel so lucky and so like grateful that he's giving me this extra bridge.
Yes.
To cross to form
Thank
across
you, Jay.
people. But it's really hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cause like listeners, this is your moment to make a shidduch for Ray.
For a rabbi.
If you can think of a rabbi who could fit this bill, like
DM me.
There are so many these days, like frummy queer weddings that are happening.
Yes.
And they're finding rabbis.
Yeah.
But a lot of those people that I know of are Ashkenazi, and I have no idea.
Yeah. Or they can be Ashkenazi, but they can't be Ashkenormative.
Yes.
They need to be like versed in Sephardi things. And that's something Jay says all the time too, is like all Sephardis know Ashkenazi stuff, but no Ashkenazi people know Sephardi stuff.
That's a really good point.
He's 100% right. Like I knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
Growing up at all. So they just have to know so that they can like put it in.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But
that's been a journey. No, and we also need that for like a DJ, which we're also looking for.
Oh my god.
The DJ is really important. Yeah.
That feels easier.
I did have a call with someone who's an amazing DJ. She's so cool. She's so hot. She's queer. She like gets it. She's Israeli, which was also a fun story because I was like, there's a lot of Israeli music that's really great.
Yeah.
And like I want to be able to play that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like not play that.
Yes.
Whatever. But she's never done a wedding before. But she played at Coachella.
Close enough.
I know.
You just need someone who's good on a mic who can say things convincingly like, welcome the newlyweds to the dance floor. When I hosted an auction for a place this last weekend, and they had a DJ other than me. I was like the host, but there was like a DJ on the God mic.
Yes.
Who was spectacular and just like, it's really impressive watching a DJ of that kind be like, up next is your shul president. You know her, you love her. It's blah, blah, blah. Or like he just like really nailed the archetype. It's kind of like a voice acting gig.
It is. It is such an archetype, but I also want like a female DJ.
Yes.
And everyone assumes also that I want like a dude DJ because of that archetype.
Definitely.
And I have that stereotype in me too, because I'm like, oh, am I gonna be able to find a female DJ that can like do that? But I'm sure I can, and I'm sorry for my prejudice.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
And she sounds great.
She's so cool. We're in process of that, and then we still haven't sent out the invitations.
Yeah, that's right.
Which we need to do.
Are you gonna do a save the date?
Nope.
Right, you don't need to save the date.
It's so soon.
It's so soon.
I know. we thought we were just like, there's no point in doing the save the date. We'll just send out the invitations. But then we've just been taking like 3 months to send out the invitations. So we should have done whatever. It doesn't matter.
Are you gonna do paper or digital?
Oh, digital. Well, and then we'll like print out a few papers.
It's like not worth it.
Not worth it at all. That would be wild.
No one likes paper invitations anymore.
And they're just gonna throw them right out.
They're gonna throw them right out. If you're lucky, they put them on their fridge until the wedding happens.
Then they throw them out.
But even then, you don't get a sense of joy from looking at your paper invitation stuck to your fridge.
No, it's stupid.
It's not worth it.
We'll send just like a picture of our faces so that everyone can put our faces on the fridge.
I like that.
with a QR code to our Venmo.
Maybe make it like a bumper sticker kind of. Yeah. They can slap it on their car.
Ray and Jay, but it's our butts. It's on their bumpers.
It's butts and a Venmo QR.
Yes.
Perfect.
Easy. And then I'm also really excited about the Tish for the wedding, which we're planning.
Ooh.
Which would be a really good segue to what you want to talk about.
Am I talking about Jewish music now?
Oh, just the Tish. The Tish. Not the Tish. The Nigun
Chavruta. We love.
Yes.
Wait, I have follow questions about the Tish.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. What's it going to be like?
Good question. So, normally, for listeners that don't know, you do like a chassan's Tish. Like the dude. The groom's Tish. And then the bride does a bedekin. This is Ashkenazi. But the bride does the bedekin where she kind of like sits on the side, and then the groom finishes up the Tish and then comes to greet the bride.
And she's got people coming to her asking for her to bless them.
Exactly.
And
yeah. And it's one of the most beautiful, one of my favorite moments of a wedding, of a Jewish wedding, where like you just have the band comes and it's this like big high drama moment where they like greet each other. And Jay doesn't want to do a Tish, but I want to do a Tish.
Yes.
Which is perfect.
Right, which we talked about in a previous episode.
So I think we'll like have some kind of bedek Tish.
Great.
Tish Deckin.
Tish Deckin.
Tish Deckin.
Tish Deckin, Turducken.
I just do both. Because Jay just wants to like have like an intimate thing with like his close family.
Great.
In his like room.
Great.
So I think it'll be like big tables, singing, and then kind of on the side, I would have to figure out the like logistics of this, but like people can come up to me and ask for blessings as like everyone is singing kind of around the
love
the tables. Yeah. Oh, and then Jay will come in and do like come greet me with like his people at the end of that, and then we'll do the ketubah signing.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I also want to know what the set list is going to be.
Oh, I have a playlist.
Wait, you do?
Yeah. I was going to bring it up for the
music one?
Yeah,
okay, great. Then we'll save it.
Yeah.
Wait, in that case, we have, just looking at the time, we should cover our pop culture
huge
news.
Okay. You go first.
Okay. So, to be very honest, I didn't know about this until today.
Yeah, which is crazy
because I don't know what.
Good, you're not in this like insane
this is
world.
Somehow not my part of the Jewish internet, honestly.
But John Marco did a clip about it already.
You saw. Okay. I saw as I was preparing to talk about this. So there's the Barstool Sports is this like major media network that has a bunch of podcasts, but it also owns at least one bar, if not multiple bars, I think.
But known for being like super bro-y.
Yeah, known for being misogynist.
Yeah.
And like really problematic. The founder is a big Trump supporter.
Is he?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I learned that today.
Oh wow, that's good. You have more research than me. Yeah, very like anti-wokeness, anti-cancel culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I guess a couple days ago at one of his bars, there's some feature where you can order them to make you a sign.
Yeah. Have you seen those? Antonia's like, what?
I've seen them now, and I'm like, oh, is this a thing
that they do
that
at
a lot of
clubs?
people do?
Yeah, it's a new thing. It's fun.
Listener,
Yeah.
I don't do clubs.
Yeah.
And it's like you can order a sign that's sort of made out of those like plastic letters that you stick onto a board.
Yeah.
You know?
And like someone had to manually like stick each letter on it.
Which is insane. So apparently a couple days ago, someone was at one of these Barstool clubs in Philadelphia, ordered a sign that said, am I going to say it? Should I censor this?
It feels weird to say it.
It feels weird to say it. Fuck the Jays. I don't know why I'm censoring this
with news.
Yeah, fuck the news.
Yeah, but with a J.
And someone
Posted
at the
it.
club made the sign.
Yeah. made the sign.
It just
With their brain and their hands, they put the letters
crazy.
together. Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delivered the sign
Yes.
to these people.
Yeah.
And then someone posted a video that is somewhat, it just looks like there are a lot of people looking at the sign.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be in high spirits, honestly.
They're partying.
They're partying.
They're at the club.
If
They ordered
anyone's
bottle
referencing
service.
the sign, they're sort of like chuckling
Yeah.
in this way that's like,
But
oh, look at that.
Some
Crazy.
people looked like uncomfortable by it.
Yes, some people, I would say the worst is there are a couple people who had a sort of smile, but an awkward smile, like, yikes,
Yeah.
that's not great,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then some people, and I forget, in the video, does anyone say it?
No.
No. So,
I don't think so.
I can't remember the video.
Yeah.
But, so then there was like an investigation, and they discovered the person who paid for the sign and some other guy have been tapped as those at fault.
Yeah.
And
no, the guy who posted the video has been tapped as being at fault, who's now claiming that
also the guy who paid for the sign.
Oh, is he the guy that paid for?
I think so.
Because I think he's claiming that like he just took the video, but he didn't.
Yes, now he's claiming that. Except, look, I'm no journalist.
Yeah.
I can't fact check what I saw.
Fair.
I also saw that he paid for the sign.
Okay. Great.
I think.
Yeah.
Look, who knows? And so then Dave Portnoy, the founder of Barstool, who happens to be a Jew, who also happens to be
a
kind of terrible person, is now like has released some statement about it, and he said he fired the two women who made the sign, who are his employees.
He called them idiots, like 1,000 times.
He's like the dumbest
girls
I've ever met.
Which is
great. Yeah. And then offered a trip to Auschwitz.
You don't think that's a genius idea?
Genius.
You don't think that's that's like a perfect response?
He offered
Didn't
it to
Kanye
just
also
these
go to
two
Auschwitz?
guys.
Who was the other guy that was like really visibly anti-Semitic?
I think it might have been Kanye.
And then got pushed to to go to Auschwitz. That's your punishment.
Modi has a bit about
he does.
Sending anti-Semites to Auschwitz.
It's a new camp.
And he's like, this is crazy. They're going to come back and be like, that was a great idea. So he offered the two people who he has deemed allegedly responsible.
Yeah.
Only two people, even though the video made it seem like there were more. I don't know why he thinks it's only two people.
No, I'm sure it was only one or two. I actually completely agree that it was only one or two people. And then everyone else was kind of just like surprised by it. Because when you order one of those things, it's not like they get consent from everyone at the table.
Right. He could have just written it down on the thing and passed it over, and then no one. So who knows?
Yeah.
And then offered them a free, all expenses paid, maybe, trip to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
And then the guy, we don't know the name of the other guy because
Right.
he's been staying anonymous.
Smart.
The one guy has not been staying
No.
anonymous, has been very loud about his involvement. He has now turned it down and denied any involvement. However, he also went on to like a extremely anti-Semitic podcast.
Yeah.
That is not even like implied anti-Semitism.
Right.
Like just straight
Straight
up, these dirty Jews ruling the world have ruined your career, person.
Wow.
And
I didn't see. I read about it, but I didn't really see that.
I
clip.
watched one clip that was so explicit.
Wow.
That I was like, this is crazy. And apparently the host was wearing a baseball hat that said bad goys.
Is that from something?
No, that's just the host of the anti-Semitic podcast
Yeah.
has made himself a
hat.
baseball hat that says bad goy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do you not love that? Why are you looking at me like this is like
I don't know if you're like
weird.
trying to say that's like the most terrible thing in the world.
No, I mean,
or if it's
who
just
knows?
fun.
It's
like I'm like that's
hilarious.
just so random.
It's so
he's using
crazy.
Jewish language
Yes.
to talk about how he's an asshole to Jews.
Like I'll never get
Yeah.
over them using the word goy.
Yeah,
It's
that
just
is
so funny. But
and it does have good alliteration. Not a
And
it's a pun. It's a good pun.
I once did a
Bad
sketch
boy,
where
bad boy.
I said that our Jewish a cappella group was gonna cover Billie Eilish's "Bad Guy"
I call it bad
and
boy.
call it "Bad Goy."
That's funny.
And I had a whole little sketch about that. It's
That's
on
so
YouTube.
cute.
It's very
Go
cute.
watch it.
So anyway, that's the recap. What do
Yeah.
you think about it?
Well, I think we were talking about whether or not we should discuss this even at all on the pod.
Yeah.
Because it has been so sensationalized and so extreme and such a perfect example of how terrible social media is for kind, generous, nuanced discourse. And Tony was like, I don't know if we should talk about it. And I was like, I feel like we can model having that kind of discourse. Because it doesn't exist. Not that anyone's going to listen to this and like learn from it, but I want to like try and talk about it in a deep, quote unquote, deep way and
Yes.
not like overly judge or overly like jump to conclusions.
Love.
Do you know what I mean?
Let's get so freaking deep.
Okay, but we'll do it.
Let's go a little over.
We'll go. Okay.
Let's do 10 more minutes.
Okay. Do you want to? I'll start with a take.
Yeah, you start.
Which is that even though I actually think, okay, even though the sending someone to Auschwitz is a bit and it's hilarious, Portnoy in that video did say like, I don't want to cancel people. Like, I don't want this guy's life to be ruined because of this.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to be able to learn. Like, even though he had said a lot of like intense shit around that, there was that kind of like nugget of calling someone in that, which was like, let's not go after this guy, even though he's like, my initial reaction is to just be so angry and like want to destroy this guy and want like his life to be ruined, but I want to try and like have this be a moment where we can like teach him something.
Yeah.
And people should be able to make mistakes and grow.
Yeah.
Which I actually thought was kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then I think the internet and like the yelling and all of the other stuff and this kid got like a bunch of death threats and like his life was ruined, and like I can understand that would really also radicalize you.
Yeah.
Because it's like the opposite of what Portnoy was like trying to do.
Yeah. I see. Okay, now I see what you want to talk about. Yeah, like
Is that a crazy take?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like I initially didn't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a culture sometimes in Jewish media of overly elevating these like isolated incidents and
as being like, these are anti-Semitic,
as
we're victims, everyone's coming for us.
Like victimizing ourselves.
Yeah.
And doing that to like trigger our audience to
like and share and engage.
Either just for attention, which is that it's some people are just doing it truly for engagement, and some people are doing it to support their political agenda.
Yeah, that too.
And so I didn't want to be like another Jewish media voice doing that.
Yeah.
And also I don't love I don't love putting my opinion out the same day I've learned about a thing. You know, I don't feel like I've heard. I really would like to hear some more takes.
Okay.
To know if my takes really hold water. Like, I'm gonna give my takes.
Yeah, I want to know
as
your
they
takes.
are undigested one day in.
Okay.
But I also just want to say, like, I'm leaving a lot of room for, like, tomorrow I might see something that makes me realize that my take is wrong. And
always learning.
Yeah, but also just like, well, okay, now that I'm saying this, I'm like, why do I have to share my take on this if I'm not sure it's right? It's not fully digested yet. Here, I'll respond to yours then.
Okay.
Like, I think you're right that there's a big question of like, is this incident going to radicalize this kid? And is it going to radicalize other people watching him to be anti-Semitic?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just to be clear, I think there's no question that what he did was wrong. Like,
oh yeah,
getting that sign wrong.
Agreed.
Not okay.
Agreed. Bad. Don't do that.
We can like
don't
objective
do that.
Take.
Yes.
The question is now that happened.
Is the response.
And I honestly think it like went out of Dave Portnoy's control even. Like it was just like an avalanche.
And it went out of his control because he posted it online.
Right. That's true.
You know.
You're right.
So,
and he posted it online with very sensationalist.
He wants it to spiral because he's doing it for engagement.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So doing all of this in public ends up being a fight for the commodity of engagement.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was kind of also forced into it though, because after the guy posted it on Instagram, it blew up before he even posted anything. Everyone knew it was at his bar, so everyone was asking him.
Well, he wasn't forced to do all of these interviews he's doing or put out a video.
You're right.
He wasn't forced to even
respond.
I mean, look, he could have not responded. He is Jewish.
Yeah.
So he's not going to look like a fellow anti-Semite, you know, because he is Jewish. People aren't going to be blaming him. But he chose to respond to it the way he responded to it. Right. He wasn't forced to do anything, you know. But like, I think here's an interesting question. Like, how do you go about this and mitigate the amount of like harm and radicalization that happens after something like this? And the Auschwitz pitch, I don't think is crazy. The thing is that like anything coming from someone like Dave Portnoy, who's so professionally divisive,
that's a good description.
Like doesn't have any air of good faith to it at all.
Yeah.
So it would be very hard for me if I was this kid to trust that this was like a genuine hand from the Jewish community. Like,
right. And like if he did go to Auschwitz, I'm sure that would have been turned into this huge content farming machine. Yes. And he would have been turned into this like emblem sob story, and like it would have been like a public witch trial. Not witch, like a public admission of your sin, like confess to your sins for your crime, you know? Yeah. Which would have not I totally get what you're saying.
I think maybe better strategy, first of all, is I would minimize the amount that Dave Portnoy is involved in anything going forward.
Yeah.
But this kid goes to Temple University in Philadelphia, I guess. Like, if I were the Hillel at Temple or one of the rabbis, maybe reaching out to this kid in a way to try and
but he'd have to do it really,
and I would do that not in public.
Yeah because I'm sure so many people in that community would also be so upset to
definitely
it's just impossible.
Especially because after watching everything go down online, everyone is triggered. They're at a 10.
But so, I will also, did you watch the video that he posted, the kids response video? And how like he just blatantly conflated Israel with Jews. It was insane. It was just like next level. Like, why there's nothing wrong with this sign because look what they're doing to Palestinian kids. I was like, who told him? Like, did that not go through any PR, any lawyer? I don't know. I feel like most people.
No, he's not going through a lawyer. He's a child.
But he has, I'm sure at this point, there's been enough attention around it that he has a lot of people trying to advise him and help him kind of get through it.
Maybe, but who knows how good they are.
It's true. But I feel like most people know not to do that.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I think there's a lot of people who conflate the two.
Yeah.
A lot.
But and this is me giving grace to pro-Palestinian people. Like, most protesters know the difference between Jews and Zionism.
A lot. I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking as someone who is one of those people.
Right. A lot of people.
Yeah. I think a lot know the difference. And people who tend to be really loud on the internet are usually the ones who don't know the difference. Yeah. And this kid is a child of the internet.
Wild to me. That was so crazy. Yeah. Okay, do you want to respond to any of my takes, or is this too much?
No, I mean, I feel like these are my responses.
Okay.
Which is like I don't think the Auschwitz thing is crazy. I understand what's behind it.
Yeah.
Which is the idea that could the Jewish response to a really dumb anti-Semitic incident like this be one where we, instead of trying to punish this person in public, instead welcome them in for some education kindly to try and stop them from being radicalized against us. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's just too much anger, triggering. Oh my God, why do my lights keep going on? So, too much not even from Portnoy, but from the Jewish community. And Rabbi Sharon Brous has an amazing speech about this, which I feel like we've spoken about, where she talks about warning against the zealots in our community, and how there's a story in the Gemara and the Talmud where when the second temple was being sieged by the Romans. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, when the second temple was being sieged by the Romans, and they were coming in on the Jewish people in Jerusalem, and they did a siege around it, and the people had enough food to last them for 5 years, so they could have been okay with the siege. But then the zealots, the extreme people in the community, burned all of the food in Jerusalem, so everyone else was forced to fight even though they didn't want to. And she just warns against the zealots in our community and how they exist.
Yeah.
And we can't just pretend that. Anyway, I think there's a lot of that going on too. Is this so far from what you want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
I like this. Okay, I'm going to say something that I feel like you're not going to like.
Okay.
Which is that there's a line of zealousness in our Jewish community of people, like I said, posting about anti-Semitism for engagement.
Yeah.
And it burns up our goodwill. It burns up our public goodwill because it's a really obvious attention grab coming from a place of bad faith. Everyone can see it. And those people do get attention and clicks, and they become these loud voices that people look at. And I feel like if we turn this particular discussion into a social media clip,
it will be engaging.
Where we might be those people.
Interesting.
Like maybe we could cut it to be long enough.
Yeah.
That we like
don't just post it to be incendiary.
Yeah.
But I feel like this whole conversation has been pretty, I don't know, but I'm so happy to be called out on this. Like,
I don't think we've been like,
I don't think we've been so like divisive.
No, I don't
We've
think
actually
so.
been pretty understanding and
exactly. Like, no, it's just the question of, do we make this into a social media clip or not?
I know. We don't have to. I mean, I totally hear what you're saying, and I don't want to participate in it, but I'm also wondering if there's a way to, like I said, like model healthy, nuanced conversation about it
for the clicks.
For the clicks. Exactly. For the attention.
Exactly.
And that's the money that I'm sure we're gonna make from this. For the clicks, and also like, I do think you know what? I actually think this will get 0 views. Not 0, but very few views if we post it in this non-incendiary way. I think it will get way less views. But I think there will be 4 to 5 to 10 people maybe that see it and they're like, wow, this is so nice to hear that you can have a nuanced take on this, and I'm so tired of seeing only the extreme versions of it.
And you two are really hot.
Yeah.
Do you want a threesome?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you should comment that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can wrap it up.
But great chat.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And sorry I didn't give my take.
That's
I just
okay.
realized mid-take that I was like, I don't have to give a non-digested take.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to give anything. I'll just give it and you can react.
Yeah, I like your take.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Yentas. Let us know what you think.
Bye.